Greetings, and welcome to Afterthoughts, a new series where I sit in the basement and talk to a camera without a script. Recently, I was reading all your comments on the Fee and Skyward Sword video, and I was actually really surprised at just the sheer variety of different opinions being tossed back and forth. Usually when I upload a video, I usually expect the general consensus to be either really positive or really negative. As far as opinions go, either most of you will disagree with me, or most of you will agree. But with the Skyward Sword video, it was actually really interesting to see just how mixed your opinions were. Some of you thought the game was great, and some of you thought the game was terrible. And it just got me thinking about opinions in general, how much we care about opinions and what we think of each other's opinions. It's funny how much it matters to us what other people think. And it got me thinking about the Thoughts series, my Thoughts videos. And, you know, I've never really cared about whether or not my opinion was right or wrong. All I've really cared about is whether or not the video was entertaining. If you go back and you look at The Trouble with Super Paper Mario video, it's kind of funny because that Super Paper Mario video actually contradicts this new video on Fee and Skyward Sword. In that video, I sort of just bash Super Paper Mario because of my own fan-biased opinion. And in the new Skyward Sword and Fee video, I bash on fan-biased opinions, and it's totally contradictory. Of course, there was a difference. When I played Super Paper Mario, I was just kind of underwhelmed by the whole thing. I thought the game was average at best. I tried to look at it objectively, and maybe my fan bias got in the way, but all in all, the game just didn't really impress me, even though there are things I like about it. With Skyward Sword, on the other hand, believe it or not, I actually hated Skyward Sword to begin with. You can't imagine how many things I hate about that game. But tossing my Zelda fandom aside and what I expected, my expectations versus the reality, I looked at the game objectively, and I just thought, you know, objectively, this game is fantastic. If I had never played a Zelda game and I tried Skyward Sword, I would have loved that game, especially if I was a kid. You know, I thought the level design was great, I thought the gameplay was superb, I thought it was a blast, I thought the motion controls were pretty responsive. You know, given patience, obviously you have to practice with them. I liked a lot of things about that game. I liked all the cute little character designs. I love the Demon Lord Girahim, the new villain. I think he's one of the coolest villains to ever appear in a Zelda game. I'm a big fan of Zant from Twilight Princess, actually, and in a lot of ways I'd say Girahim actually trumps Zant. Maybe not in design, but as far as personality, he's a pretty interesting and complex Zelda character. But enough about all that. What I'm getting at is, I've never cared if my opinion was right or wrong, and my opinion, it can't be right. No opinion can be right. To have the right opinion is to have no opinion at all. And when you watch a YouTube video, especially about a video game, what really matters isn't the opinion or how fair they're being to the game. What matters is how intriguing the video is, how entertaining it is. If you think of JonTron and his famous Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts video, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts is a fantastic game. It's really polished, it's a lot of fun to play, it's really unique, the graphics are great, the music is great, there's nothing really wrong with that game, but at the same time, it's one of the most disappointing games ever made. And when you watch that video, you're not expecting him to be fair to the game, you're not expecting his opinion to be right or wrong. You're just watching that video to see his opinion and to see him just wreck on this game that's just ruined his childhood, and it's interesting, really. YouTube is interesting. I mean, do opinions even matter? Do my Thoughts videos matter? You know, any game I've played, I've never had a concrete opinion on. My opinions are really varied from side to side. You know, I've never played a bad Zelda game, for example, but every Zelda game I've played, I've had good thoughts and bad thoughts on. And when I make a Thoughts video, I have to choose a direction. And in the case of Skyward Sword, you know, even though there were a ton of things I hated about that game, there were a lot more things I loved about it. And one thing I just couldn't get past is how much I liked Fee and her design. So I decided to go with that. I could have done a big video on how much I hated Skyward Sword, a video as long as that one. But in the end, my good feelings outweighed the bad feelings. And that's all there is to it, I guess. I think one of the most important things to remember is that all opinions are going to be biased in one way or another, because they're opinions, they're not facts. So the next time you're watching one of my videos, just remember, it doesn't matter if my opinion's right or wrong. All that matters is that my opinion intrigues you, and that the video entertains you. Honestly, I don't even know what this video's about. I just kind of wanted an excuse to start this Afterthoughts series up. This series will be replacing fragments. If you didn't realize, I stopped making fragments. We'll talk about that later. And yeah, it should be fun. This can be a place for afterwards on thoughts videos, for just random opinions. I can talk about whatever the latest games I've been playing, or any failed videos that didn't make it in the other shows. I can talk about just anything here. If there are any games you guys want my opinion on, or anything you want me to play, feel free to let me know. This is the place to do it. So, yeah, I'll see you guys next time.